done. All right, 1 second, guys. Let me get some coffee. That's the camera. Do that, and then go there. And what else do we have to do? Go here. Let's go to share this. And oh crap! 1 second. All right, good. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Righty here. Let's go through here and go from there. All right, just need the charts. Pardon me. Good Lord. Excuse me. Okay, 1 second. Where is that? Oh, that's supposed to be on. Yay! All right, so we're getting somewhere. Let's throw this up here. I'll put that up there. And move you over here. All right, good. Wow, I'm really gonna get rid of this thing. This thing is so exhausting. All right, and get rid of this. And we'll move you to this and here. All right, good. And give me 1 second, guys, sorry. I just gotta get set up for this date and then kind of go from there. So you're good here. And all right. You got a bunch going on here, a bunch. So the biggest number that you need to look at, I put this out last night. Let me find it. I'll drop it in real quick so you guys can see it. I believe this is it. Yep, perfect. And drop that right there. So I put this out yesterday, and I'd focus on this, and you can just watch it. But this is what JP Morgan is telling their clients, and I would just screenshot that, or I'd watch that really closely. The one they're going to watch is core CPI month over month. They're looking for 0.3. That's what they're looking for. So that's what we're going to look for too. You have Oracle earnings were good, but the guidance, I guess is the best way to say it, was much better than expected. Let me put that on the bottom. Especially with data center, and that's what's keeping the stock up. AVGO is not Thursday; it's tonight. I don't know why I thought it was Thursday. It's not. It's tonight. Europe is seeing a bounce, so Europe is definitely seeing a bounce, and that's what's that. But core CPI, I'm not going to get into all of them right now. CPI core is the focus. And sometimes the focus changes. Right now it's month over month, 0.3 estimate. And I think it's helpful to just tell people which one to look for so that they don't have to get spread out, right, too thin. Estimate, spell estimate for me. There you go. Who's a winner? All right. And then the Apple news, that actually went from what I thought a dumpster fire to I get it now. And looking at let me just get this out there, multiple cycles, because people come in at different times. Okay. So the one thing about the Apple is that you're looking at multiple cycles, but you might just want to screenshot this. I'll say it when it comes out, but that's what you're dealing with right now. And then we'll go from there. And bear with me as we sit up here. What time is it? I have 13 minutes. All right, let's get to it. So let's go through the basics. Cues and give you some levels. And we'll start. I don't know why this is all set up so much better today, but it is. I'll take it. All right, so let's get to the cues. Now, we're just going to look at basic levels to start. First and foremost, you're just going to want to watch right there, right that break out. So that's going to be your first level to watch. Second level is going to be, in my opinion, right here, or the low of that right there, right? And the next level in here that I think is really of relevance, maybe there, but they could just walk you down if this gets ugly. But I would just watch these little spots and see how you act at them. But there's a couple of them. Now, I don't know, you have to see what the number is. I mean, you could blow through all of them if it's a hot number. If it's a hot number, I'm going to be shocked, frankly. I'll just tell you that. I won't. I don't know if we want that there. I think it's better suited here. Don't you? Because that seems to be the area of contention where you bounced a couple times. So we'll leave it like that. And I think that's worthy of a line. We'll go from there. Let me just drop this over so that I have this for later. I use these later, so I'm just going to drop them on one of my other screens. Let's go take a look at the SPY and see what's going on there and set our levels up there as well. And what we can do there is just put the extended in on that. And yeah, I don't know that I'm going to use the extended. Well, I probably should use the extended right now, just so we know that this is where you're at on the high, right? And then we would look at the previous day high. That's probably not a bad idea. And the pre-market or the post-market high, probably not another bad idea. I'd want to watch that low where they did the shake and bake, and you're obviously going to want to watch the middle ground. You can see how everybody here at 1 o'clock just bought the market. And then it just came back, retested that area, and ripped. So they went long equities and they went long bonds. A lot of rumors that, the Fed bought their own bonds. That's really, 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 really dumb that people think that. That's like they did their own treasury auction. Like, I mean, it's really, really dumb. They have so many other mechanisms to do besides go out there and buy their own treasuries. So do what you want with it. But it's really silly to think that they're issuing their own paper and then buying it back. They can do it through so many other different mechanisms. For lack of a better term, I don't know what else to call it. I guess I could have said ignorant. Is that better? Because that just means you don't know. I guess maybe ignorance better than no. I don't know. Either way, don't believe that. I watched that go around yesterday. It was just exhausting to watch. Oh, the Fed's buying their own paper. That's why it's up. Okay. And Oracle's going to have a bad quarter, and Druckenmiller sold NVIDIA. And Apple's not buying NVIDIA chips. I mean, at some point, guys, you're either going to get some of this stuff that you're being manipulated through the media or you're not. I mean, it's just really that simple. All right, so these are all out. Let me know when that's done, and we'll go from there. Let's get into some of this. So as far as the numbers that are coming out, let me just set up a couple of these sites so that I have it all ready. I would expect there's going to be massive volatility, like massive, just massive volatility. So I would expect this to just be crazy, frankly. But the numbers in line they are what they are. I mean, I just think that it's going to be nuts. And then the other thing is you're just going to flip the other side of it, meaning then you're going to go into the dot plot today at 2 o'clock. Here's the thing, and we should talk about this, and let's get back to here where people are probably more comfortable. And we'll get rid of this, and I'll get rid of my lines. And we'll go to here for a moment. All right, cool. Understand that what happens with CPI is going to move the market more than the Fed speech. What's going to move more than the Fed speech is the dot plot. If that dot plot's a dumpster fire, which is the Fed telling you what they're going to do, you go look at, this is a real simple trick that I do all the time. You take the previous dot plot, right? And I don't know that I have that ready or not yet. I probably got one of these folders. Let me just go see if I can find it done. Cool. You take the previous dot plot and you put it on one of your screens, or you put it on a screen. Okay, if you have one screen, and you leave it up, and then when the other one comes out, you look at it, and you'll be able to pick up the changes. And what you're looking for is, are they higher or are they lower? If they're moving more towards higher, then that means less chances of a rate cut. If they're much lower, it's more chances of a rate cut. If you use that as a line and a demarcation line, you can move faster, right? And that's what you're going to focus on. The entire day, and what you're going to hear on Bloomberg and CNBC, and what I'm hearing on all these firms when I read the research this morning, they're all focused on the same thing. They are all focused on the same thing. And they're all focused on the dot plot. That's all they're talking about is the dot plot. Yeah, I'm going to focus here and put that out there as well. But some of these names look like they're just going to rip, don't they? But you got to watch the dot plot. You're going to have to pay really close attention to that because that's going to be a big deal. All right. And that's going to be what moves us today. So what they're saying is that before you had a chance of 3 cuts, now they're saying that the rumor floating around is it might be 1 and it might show like December. Well, that's going to be a disaster. What do we got going on over here? Good, you're done. And then what do you have here? Mike is not clear on the stream. Should be much clearer. Okay. Hold on. Thank you for saying something. Hello. Is that better? Hello. Oh boy, something beeped. It should be better. Let me go to this and just see if it's better. Better? 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 Yay. Thank you, Daniel. I wouldn't have known that. Sue wouldn't have told me that. Sue never would have said anything. She just would have laughed and said, look at his incompetence. It's exhausting. All right, let's get to it. So other than that, I do think you're going to keep seeing a push here if this number's in line. But let's see what it is, and then we'll go from there. I'm not going to take questions until this number's out. And I got to stay focused, but I'm all prepped for it. And then I'm just going to tell you what I think fast. I would tell you that I would expect the names that rallied yesterday to continue to rally. I will tell you this, Oracle's future was really good. Crowd looks like it just wants to rip people's faces off. It looks really, really angry. Semis look like they're going to absolutely explode. People are kind of catching on that ARM's a player now. So I do think that might continue. Apple, you're going to see a lot of buying in Apple or selling of Apple after this call. People positioning themselves on that. There's no doubt about that at all. So that'll be a big one that you'll see a lot. Pardon me, that you'll see a lot of. Let me throw this up here. So I have this other thing. So I have 3 different sites up. So as soon as somebody has it, we'll have it. Where are you? Work with me, not against me. Perfect. And what else was interesting that was out there while we're waiting for this? Oh, GameStop. This guy coming out and saying, I covered my short. Well, what are you supposed to say? I'm screwed? Like Citron coming out and saying, I covered my short. Like, why would you make the announcement? We covered it because we're good guys. Like, no, you covered it because you got hosed. You probably bought the secondary and you thought you were going to get the secondary cheaper. And you didn't, and you got absolutely hosed with the trade, and now you got to get out of the way. I do agree with this one comment. If you look at GME, and this is worth noting, what do we have, 4 minutes? GME's market cap is what? Let me just pull this up real quick. Your market cap now is $9 billion. Okay. You have 4 or 5 in cash. So at the end of the day, you're trading at 2 times cash. You can say whatever you want about the company. It's a pig, it's this, it's that, but you're not going back to 11. You're going 15, 20. Like you're almost trading at, at book value down here somewhere. If the name GameStop's worth something, right? So maybe it's not tangible book, but there's stuff there that just makes a lot of sense. So it's probably not going to break down the same way. Let me just get some of these lined up and we'll go from there. And we'll see there. So the question I got asked is, why do I think the banks are underperforming? I don't know, but they are. JP Morgan broke down, and we should talk about this as well. Oh, hold on. JP Morgan, watch this. Like, what's that? What's that ahead of this? Or this? Look. Like, why is that? Come on, work with me, man. XLF, right? So this is all stuff that I'm watching. Where else do we have? What's MEX doing? Oh, you're still breaking down. They still don't like you. Why? All right, so let's set this up. And we're going to have to set you up higher. Give me a second. I'm just setting up some orders so that I can act immediately. People always ask, like, how do you act so fast? I prep a lot of orders. I find it extremely helpful to do that. What is this outstanding? I don't want that order. I got a buy limit out there on. Yeah, navigate away from that, please. Yes. Good Lord. Yeah, I don't want that out there. Who had that out there? Did you ever do that? You have orders out there and then you forget you have them? Oof, that's a pickle. 1 minute, and then we'll get to it. Okay, let's try this again. All right, let's get to these numbers. I'm just going to say them super fast, and then you'll get them. Here we go. It's exciting, isn't it? I feel like a kid on Christmas. Let's set that other trading system up too. Yay. Probably go there and go here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on. Bum, bum, bum. 3.4, 3.3 year over year came in line. CPI way good across the board. Forecast previous 0. Core was higher, lower year over year. Core month down, actual 2. You're going higher. You're going to go higher. You're going to go higher. You're not going to be able to even get in things. You're going to go higher here. Hold on 1 second here. Time to get involved. You're going to go higher. I'm buying stocks while we're talking. Buy more. Buy more. Oh, let's buy a little more. Okay, cool. Across the board, bullish. Buying stocks. Can't be any clearer. You're going a lot higher. You're going to go a lot higher. Everything crushed. I'll get into it in a minute. Let's just swallow it right now. Everything went higher. Futures just went to a 70% chance of a rate cut in September. There's a 70% chance of a rate cut in September. You just doubled your chances of a rate cut in September by those numbers. SPY's going to keep going. Look for a spot, see if you can get in cheaper, but Taiwan semis pushing. I'll take questions, guys, but I got to trade too. So just bear with me. Why are they going after Hewlett? Going after this too. They're going after semis. It's too thin. I think the Apple's interesting. I think that's interesting. The video just popped like right on it too. Look at that. Say ya. Oh, it's going to be a good day. Now, remember, this can all change super fast as soon as you get into the Fed meeting, but this is going to take precedent, at least for now. AVGO is going to rock. They're going to get ahead of that now. Glad I bought calls yesterday, the day before. Look at this. Look at this chart. Look how beautiful this chart is. Look at this. It's not going to stop. See it? So you could literally, like if you're playing this right now, your first demarcation line's right there. 540, 541. Yeah, they're just going to keep buying. I mean, you're going to bonk around, but just understand that they're just going to keep buying here, I think. I don't think they're going to have a choice. Let's get to the numbers. I'll pull them up so you can see what happened. I thought they were going to be good. I didn't think they were going to be this good because they're good across the board. Inflation month over month is actually 0. So let me grab this and then I'll show you. Bear with me, guys. Even that came down. Everything came down. Let me go here and let me see if I can just do it that way and can just drop that right there. Perfect. So I'm going to leave this here for a minute. So, okay, that's not helpful at all. Just watch that demarcation line right there. Yeah, Apple, they're bonking around, but I'm not buying it. Okay, you're going to have to like not do that. Okay. I swear to God, I'll get used to this. I swear it will happen. All right, so you should be able to see this here. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to pull this out for a minute and test my fate. Okay. So, and again, you're going to bounce all around the place, but you know, I own Apple. I'm not doing a darn thing with it. I see it coming in. But let's just go through this really quickly so you get it. So core inflation is what they were looking for. The chances of this number coming out was around 5%. So core CPI month over month, the chance of that coming out was less than 5%. And that's what came out. All right. So the chances of you not going higher are probably pretty darn slim, right? Okay. And you're going to see all the high beta names move. Like you see what happened to GME. See how it's moving? Apple's going to bonk around. Again, these things are going to just bounce around, guys. You're going to have to just, deal with it. Or just, get out of the way. You don't have to do anything. And then if you look at core inflation year over year, 3.4, you were looking for 3.5. So you drop there as well. Inflation rate month over month, total inflation was 0. And we talked about this, like how crude oil was down and using that as a guide and gas as a guide. We went through this in that one video. We go through it every month, but it's a great demarcation line to look at commodities and say, hey, are they up or down, and kind of go from there, right? So that's the other thing that I would focus on. The other thing I would say is year over year, 3.3, and you were looking for 3.4. That is your second decrease. But here's where it gets really interesting, and people don't look at this that much. Okay, see this 3.14 right here, 37? That's actually an absolute number. See this number right here, 3.14.37? That's an actually absolute number. And you can see that number right here and what happened, right? So that's pretty important too. Okay. And you're seeing that benefit as well. Hold on one second. So you're seeing that as well. So you actually have absolute inflation coming down. And that's definitely something to pay attention to. All right. So you're seeing a lot of these names rally. Let's go through them so that you see that. And I will go out there on this and we'll go there right there. And I'll go to this banner. Let me go to the banner so people get this. And so that they come in late and they see this, we'll get to it. CPI crushed bullish across the board, period. All right. I think that'll update it. I think I updated it. Did I update it? I don't have time to watch this whole thing scroll. Hide this, go back in here. Did I do that? Yeah, I did it. I fixed it. Yay. I can do things. I'm smart. All right. So what else? Where else do we go with this? You start looking at what's moving and what's not moving. MSTR. Let's get to MSTR. All asset classes are going to lift. Watch this, HIMS. I love this name. Oh, I saw this yesterday too. Look at this. MSTY. You're going to move. A lot of this stuff's going to fly. A lot of this stuff's going to fly. And break out now. NTAP. I have all these screens up and they're just flying. What they are doing is they're blowing out of other names here. They're selling Oracle, which is kind of interesting. I'm just going to have to go real time here on what I'm doing versus answering questions because I have a lot on, guys. But they're dumping Oracle. I'm not sure why yet. Are they going to go after crowd then? No, it doesn't seem it. Not sure why they're dumping that because look, they're buying Pan. Oh, I wanted to show this. I know Jess doesn't watch these, but she has this big position or she loves trading this name. Look how beautiful that is on Crisp. We bought this the other day. See ya. Oh. Anything interest rate sensitive, Hood, anything like that, JP Morgan, that should actually go up. I don't know why that's not moving. I really feel like I'm missing something on the financial side. Like I'm not getting it. Unless they think there's a slowdown there coming and I don't get it. ARC F. I have so many things lighting up right now. It's crazy. There's so many things that are lighting up that are just like blowing up right now. Give me a second here. Yep. Even here already. Boom. Just like that. All of them. Man, this is going to be a fun day. Now, remember, once you see that dot plot, it can all change. The dot plot is not going to be affected by what happened today, right? Because that's the past quarter, right? So just understand that. Oh, yeah. Keeping it real. ARM benefits greatly from Apple. I think they're trying to put you to sleep with Apple here. I think they're trying to make you feel a certain way. It's not going to work. And they exploded these. Man, they exploded these. What'd they do with First Solar? See ya. So all you really want to do today, guys, is understand that this can all change at 2 o'clock on the dot plot. And that's still going to be the past, but it can change on that number. What do we have here? What's going on here? Let's watch how this goes. Huh. One second, guys, please. Okay. All right. I'm going to go through this so that you guys get this, because this is how I can add value to you today. So I'm going to show you something. So we use this a lot in the community. And the easiest way I can explain it to you and the people in the community at the same time is just to tell you what's going to happen. The tick's going to open up here. Like you're going to open up. So what this is this is the New York Stock Exchange cumulative average, right? And you're going to open up. And when you do, right, when that opens up, that's going to be absolutely huge. So you're going to want to watch this because people are going to buy on that, right? And then what will happen is you're going to revert back to the mean. And then that's really where you're going to decide what names you should be looking at and what names rally from there. That's the biggest way that I can explain to you what's about to happen. Because off the open, people are going to buy, but you're going to regress because the move's going to be so volatile. It's going to be a huge move off the open, right? So you just want to watch that, okay? That's the best way I can explain it and kind of go from there. But NQ in and of itself, you just skyrocketed. So just watch. Now, you still have that 1 minute bar and you're working it off, but you're not even anywhere near 50% yet. So I would just view that. You already broke the doji here, so you're going to kind of want to watch that too to see how much you come down. I'm wondering if you start to see people getting out ahead of the Fed and just locking it in and saying, okay, well, let's see what the Fed does now. We didn't have the follow through yet, but let's give it a couple minutes and see if we do. We should have a huge follow through here and we don't have it yet. So I would like to answer questions, guys, but I got a lot on here, so it is what it is. Am I buying calls here right now? No, I would not buy calls here. I would say that people looking at a firm, make sure you flip that 5. And if you're looking at UPST, just make sure you flip the 5, right? The guys that want to trade these names, just make sure you're flipping the 5-minute chart, right? See how you flip the 5 here already? Just make sure that you're getting above that before you start looking at this stuff. So like Apple, what they're doing is they're utilizing this to sell, right? So you're going to want to watch, what are they selling? What are they buying, right? You're just going to want to watch that and be really cognizant of that. So. Seems to me they're using this as a vehicle to get out of some things here. So we're going to have to watch really carefully here what's happening. Really careful what's going on here. What they do with Oracle, did they take Oracle down more? They stopped it. Let's go take a look at a couple things here. Let's go look at a bear chart. Let's go drop an anchored VWAP on this and see what are they doing with these names that are up so much. So, okay, so you're holding the after hours breakout there. Okay. Let's go take a look at Apple. Are you holding this still? Oh, that's a long way down, man. All right. Are you holding the previous close? No. All right. So the people that bought at the close sold. Well, I don't like that at all. All right. Not worried about that. Let's watch this Apple and see what this Apple does. That's a concern. I shouldn't be doing that. You should have rallied. I'm wondering if they're going to use this to get out. Let's see what they do here. Okay. Seems to be holding now. All right, good. See if I can hold. If you can hold, you're good here. Well, see how this goes here. All right, so you're starting to hold. That's good. Okay. See if we can get some kind of base here. Let's go through some questions really quickly and go from there. I'm going to go to the beginning because that's where people always ask and come in early, and I'll get to it. I'm going to have to jump at 9. What's up, Bob? Oh, it's going to be a blast, dude. I love days like this. I love days like this when you actually have to think. I really do. I really love these kinds of days. Let's go take a look at the ES. That'll be cleaner for people. That's what I'm looking for. There it is. I do think you're going to have that. That's what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to have that kind of follow through. But I'm not seeing it yet. And I'm wondering why. So the one thing that does have me thinking about it, really thinking about it, is going to be, are people going to get out because they know that the Fed's coming, right? Like, is that what we're going to see? And I don't have an answer to that, but we'll see here. Give me 1 second. Let's just pull this up right here. And all right, so there's no real movement in. Yeah. So the movement was really in September. July did not move at all. So I'm wondering if they're thinking it's too little, too late for multiple rate cuts on the year. Maybe that's why we're not getting the follow through. Like, I know people are looking at this going, what do you mean you're not getting the follow through? Like, no, you should be up like 2% across the board. Like RTY did, right? You got some love there clearly. But this should be really moving, and it's not moving in that direction. So I'm kind of curious as to why. I mean, it's moving, but it's not moving, if that makes sense. It should be moving more than it is, in my opinion. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I thought results were good, Bob. I thought that where they're going with the product mix was good. I think across the board, what you're going to want to see is are you in a position here where they're going to hold the line? I'm not sure yet, man. honestly, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. If they're going to hold the line, if they're not going to hold the line. It's interesting to see, to be candid with you, because I thought it was good. Oracle has a habit of selling down. They have a real bad habit of just selling down no matter what. I think that future guidance would be good, and I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think you're going to sell down because of that, but we're going to have to watch it and just see how that plays out. And I'm just not sure how it's going to play out yet. So we'll go from there. What's up, Echo? Happy hump day. Yep, I always pay attention. Yep, I always pay attention to things like this. HYG, you always want to watch what's going on with high yield. So I would these are the big ones I always watch. I want to know what's going on with high yield. I want to know what's going on here with LQD, investment grade. So, pardon me, there's two differences, right? High yield is the aggressive stuff, and then LQD is more like what it says, your investment grade stuff. But this isn't going to move as much as you can see, but the HYG will move. It's like the tail that wags the dog, right? It's the end of the tail, right? So that's always one of the areas that you want to watch. The other thing that I always watch is TLT, which I do have a position in. And I watch that and I want to see what happens with it. And clearly, we're doing well. So I want to see how this goes. I want to see how this goes. But these are the things that we have to, these are the things that we're going to have to pay attention to and kind of go from there. I do think that you want to watch all three. And you might want to watch the 10-year. I mean, you got, this is what I was saying yesterday. Everyone wants this new signal, like, oh, the Fed's buying their own bonds back. You got to stop, believing, you got to stop believing what you're hearing on the media, even on social media, because a lot of those people that are tweeting, they're paid to put things out there. JP Morgan literally has a group that is dedicated to social media and what's going on social media. That's how much they're monitoring us on social media. There's an actual group within JP Morgan that does that. And so how many are you going to see? Look what they did to us on NVIDIA. How many fake articles were out? Yesterday, the bond market rallies, but it's not really the bond market that's rallying. It's really the government buying their own bonds back, which is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. But there it is. They floated out there. And, so people need to understand this stuff and understand the levels of the game, right? And so they're just giving you false information, knowing that you're going to act on it. The government's doing this to hide the hot number. Okay. I'm not saying they don't manipulate stuff. Of course they do. We're watching it every single day in the data. They took coffee out of CPI so that the number would be lower, but the number is what the number is. And people are going to act on that. But you want to watch TNX more than anything. And you want to watch TNX around the bond auctions. 100%. Oh, you're going to get volume today, man. You're going to get your volume today. KKR looks great. This looks really good. This looks really good. That was my level. I just passed on it. I had too much else going on, but that looks really good. A bunch of these names look really, really, really good. So, the way you should be viewing the market off the open is not rushing in. You should be looking at going, okay, anything that's up extreme that you want to lock in, it's probably not the worst idea in the world, right? That's kind of where my head would go with it. Because you don't know what the Fed's going to do. I would think the Fed's going to do nothing, and I would think the dot plot's going to be hawkish. I don't think they're going to be very excited about the dot plot. That's kind of where my head is. How that's going to play out, I'm not really sure yet. I'm going to have to say. But let's go through. KKR looks great to me. GEM. Active beta emerging markets equity. I don't know what this is. It doesn't really seem to move enough for me to have any interest in it. Does it throw off a dividend or something? Is there a reason I would care about this? Looks like there's some kind of dividend. What is that? we in? Wow, it's almost 9. Ooh, what's going on here? Hello? I like that a lot. I don't know what's going on here, man, but that's really powerful. I like that, John. I really do. Echo, I said when we got to 25,000, I'd start doing like live streams where I answer questions. I'll start doing that. I'll do a couple of those. Well, we'll do a live streams. We'll just take questions like that. We can go over it like live and do it. I think that'll be helpful to people. We'll have more time. I'll do it like on a Friday night or something. Just like light up a cigar and talk for a couple hours. I'll figure out when to do it, but I think it'd be helpful to people when I'm not so rushed. But there's a lot to your question. It's a really good question. I just don't have the time to get into it. There she is. Boom. Did everyone congratulate Mary on her new job? What's up, Mary? Micron I like a lot. I read a really good report on it this morning. I like this a lot. A lot. Going into earnings. I'm not a lot, Mary. More so than Taiwan sent me here. What's up, Lise? Happy hump day. I don't think they're pretending. I think we're going to rip. But I think it's not going to be today. I think they're going to hammer us with the dot plot. We'll get into it in the room in a moment. Yeah, please hit the like button. Helps greatly with the algo. 675 in the room. Keeping it real. Woot, woot. Good morning, Boomer. Carlos created. Do I not have the banner up? All that work on the banner. Guys, I thought we were a team. You got to work with me. We know the Boomers challenged. Carlos created that music because I got sick of hearing I can't play certain songs because of copyright. The man was trying to keep me down. So Carlos sent me it, and that's what I put it on. So thank you, Carlos. I'll send it to you if you want it. What's going on, Jeannie? There she is. ZSON. You know, ZS is worth mentioning. It's 9 already. Good Lord. I'm going to have to jump. You know, I was short this and I did very well with the short, but somebody wants in, man. Somebody thinks that that's bottom. I mean, I made money here and then look at it. It's like this. Pardon me. I shorted this and then they ripped it on me and then now it fell apart. I'd be real careful with your shorts here. Real careful. Whew, man, I'm taking some swings this morning. Jesus. That'll wake you up. All right. I don't know, man. Bad quarter. Sold off. You know what, John? I shouldn't say that. I need to review the quarter because I don't think it was a bad quarter. I thought it should have gone up and it was on the 55 and it didn't and I shorted it. But I actually thought it was a good quarter. I got to go review my notes, John. I don't know that I'm right in that statement. So please forget that statement. I got to go take a look at this. I feel like I'm missing something there. ON, I like a lot. They're pretty much all the shoes I wear now. I'm looking for a dip. Me and everybody else, right? Alta. Yeah, I think you're going to get washed out. I do. I think you're going to get washed out. And I think you did get washed out. I see it. So what you did, so like here, Watch. So you see this? See how like the volume's up over those bars? I see what you're talking about. What I tend to do with these, Sue, is this. I'll come here and see where I'm at. And like, see how you flip in the 12? And then what I'll do is I'll take this chart, and we can go over this in the room in a moment, but I might as well just like lay it out how I will view this. Then what I do is I want to go take a look at the smaller time frames, right? I'll go look at a 15, and I know this is wrong, but it is what it is, guys. Bear with me. But like, I want these aligned, right? So these need to be aligned like this, like 3, 5, 8, but I am above the 5. You see that? So I made a higher high, and I am above the 5. So if I was a gambling person, which I am, I would just watch and make sure that this breakout stays above the 8 and that I don't close below the 5. So if you were interested, they might be levels to look at, like 385.24, and just make sure that you don't close below the 5-day moving average. And, just monitor these during the day. But I can see why somebody would be looking at Alta today. I agree with how you're viewing that. It does look like it got washed out. And the other thing here is look at your setup. So like your setup's good. So see right here, like watch. Say it. So what did you do? This bar is in what? Right? Control, right? Okay, so then what happens? They undercut that bar because they know what? That's where everybody is with their stops that went long. And then they undercut it, boom, they pull the flim-flam. And then after that, they give you the hammer, and then they flipped the hammer yesterday. So I agree 100% with the way you're viewing that. I think your assessment's accurate. If you're trying to bottom fish, which is not what I do, but I get it. I do. Well, you're talking to someone that lives off of DoorDash and Uber Eats. So I didn't realize that DoorDash paid people so much more money than Uber Eats. I had no idea. So I started using DoorDash more, but literally every single meal is either made or brought. Like I just don't cook. I use them a lot. I like the service a lot. I mean, you're just asking me about the food delivery service. It's only going to get bigger, man. And it's only going to get better. I mean, that's what's going to happen. We'll get to the point where people will just go, why am I cooking? The convenience of it's just going to be way too easy unless people like cooking. But I can think of other things I'd rather do. I could be at the gym. But anyway, you see like how this is going. You can go like, what's it going to do? I don't know. I don't know why I'd buy it. But if you're asking me what I think of the services, they're not going away. They're only going to get bigger. Like you go to DoorDash and you're like, I want a throat lozenge. I want a bottle of water. You press a button, it's there. Like the convenience of this is absolutely insane. So I don't see how the business doesn't get any. I don't see how it gets any like it goes away. To me, I think the one area that like if I had to tell you like all these delivery sites or fast sites, like which one could go away, the Airbnb just played themselves out. There's too many of them. There's too many places that are banning Airbnb. I watch it down and when I go to cities all the time, how they're banning them. And you can stay in a hotel that's nicer. I can stay in a much nicer hotel than something that's comparable to the Airbnb that would be as comparable. So what do I need an Airbnb for? Unless you're trying to stay somewhere like cool in a cabin or you know what I mean, something like that. You'll find like cool locations, but the growth of that is going to go the other way, I think. That would be the only one of those services that I think goes away. I don't think Uber is going to go away unless you're in like California. I think they have real issues there because they're not going to make them employees. They're just going to get out of the state. They got to get that together. But that's a real issue. Like if they start going to these people, you're an employee, that's a whole completely different ball of wax, right? And like all the states did that, that's a real problem. It's a real problem because now you have to pay workers' comp, all this. I think it's crazy what you're going to have to pay. That's going to be an awesome day. On IGT? Not really. I mean, I'm not really crazy about it. You're talking about this stock? Is that what you're talking about, this name? Like, not really, no. I mean, maybe it holds, maybe it doesn't. It looks that way. It looks like Oracle's pushing it, or else I'm not going to have time to get to all this, dude. I got to jump.
Sorry, guys. I'll make up for it tomorrow. Thanks for telling me about the wrong mic. It should have been absolutely glaring to everybody or dazzling. What do we got at the end? I like it. Did you? That's all I do is on the video. That's all I do all day long. What are you doing? Buying the video. My friends call me, what are you doing? I just tell them I'm buying the video. What'd you do yesterday? Bought in the video. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. I'm with the worst person to ask about Coca. I don't trade it. I'd be looking at a chart. All I could tell you is by technicals. That's all I could tell you about that. I mean, I have no idea where Coca is going. I could look at a chart and see if they'll give me a decent chart. What are you trading, the cash contract? I mean, technically it looks like it might go higher. If I was to trade it, I'd be using that to make all my decisions. If I broke it, I'd get out of Dodge. But I don't know anything about the Coca market. I'm really the wrong person to ask. I'm sure there's much better people. We are lifting. I just think you need to be careful of the tick this morning. I got to jump, guys. I'm super late. I got a lot on. Trade to win. Watch tonight's video. It'll be packed.